That's not where we need to focus. We just need to focus maybe on the normalcy of day-to-day life. These people were doing the things that were fashionable at that time. So as we are today, all these things that we do today is just normal life happening. And that's what was happening during Noah's time. So they were still doing weddings, going to work, riding their little chariots and wagons, and going to the fields, planting, and all the ceremonies and the little things that we do today was happening there. But Noah, who was building that ridiculous ark, I'm sure they did a lot of ridicule when they saw him doing what he was doing. And I'm sure he had no idea when this was happening. And somewhere in the Bible it says it took him 120 years, right, preaching. So there was no specific time when the rains would come, but Noah took his time, his family, to do what he did. And when the rains came, sure they did. And how many people went on the ark? 8 people, Noah and his family. And how many were destroyed? Save for the few animals that he took on, and himself, and the seeds for some of the plants we have today. But that was normalcy. So today we can be in that scenario where everything is going good, we're enjoying life as we should, and everything is quite good and normal. And yet, we got the message here that no one knows the hour and the time, but we know for sure Christ is coming. And when he comes, when you read all these verses here, to the end of chapter 25, there will be also a judgment. And that what happened at Noah's time was also a judgment scenario where the good, or those who obeyed, were alive, and those who chose not to were all destroyed in the flood. Going forward into verse 40, says, then 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other left. Now, at that time, in ancient time when this was written, when you visualize 2 men in a field, you are looking at probably 2 brothers, or father and son, maybe father-in-law and son-in-law. So these are people who are very close to each other, or maybe slave and master, or master and slave. So these are people who are always together every single day. They share what they believe, they do everything they do together. And one is picked, one is left behind. The main thing there is that at that point, they are separated. There will never be a time that they will be together again. Just like the people who were left in the flood, there was never a chance after the flood that they came again to mingle with Noah, so they can have a time and say, well, how did you do that? What did you see? Can we start doing also the same so we can prepare for the next? These 2 men, brother siblings, or father and son, are separated. Their separation at this point will be for good. One was ready and the other was not. It goes on to say on verse 41, 2 men grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one is left, or the other is left. Same thing there. Usually mom and daughter, or siblings and same family members doing the same things at the same time. One is ready, the other is not. And why was the other one ready? They were not told the time. So was the other one who was not ready. So we are not all told the time, as the Bible says. And actually, if you go to Acts chapter 7, Acts chapter 1, verse 7, Jesus telling his disciples,